Coming up on the 2014 FIFA World Cup magazine, we return to Brazil's northeast, this time to Natal. We meet the only man from the city to have worn the famous yellow and blue at a FIFA World Cup. And we check out the progress of the city's brand new stadium.
Welcome to Natal, capital of Rio Grande do Norte. Natal was founded on the 25th of December 1599. Here behind me you can see the Fort of the Three Wise Men, the first thing built in the city. This is the Parque das Dunas, the second largest urban park in Brazil. Here you can find many different animals and plants. It's a perfect place to take a stroll or go for a run. Natal is famous for its sun and its beaches. This is Ponta Negra, one of the beaches closest to the city, and that's the Morro do Careca, one of the most recognizable sites in Natal. If you get tired of the sun and beaches, Natal has some great museums and the Alberto Maranhão Theatre, found here in the historical centre. Rio Grande do Norte exports many natural products. The cashew is one of the main ones. Here we have the biggest cashew tree in the world, which covers an area of more than 8,000 square meters. That's larger than a football pitch. That concludes our little tour of Natal. I hope to see you here in 2014. This city has a lot to offer, and I'm not the only one who thinks so.
Natal is a city with many beautiful natural places and local people that will welcome you with open arms. Visitors are going to experience unforgettable moments here with our beautiful sea, amazing landscapes, wonderful sunshine and beaches that are truly heavenly.
When it comes to football, Rio Grande do Norte may not have as illustrious a history as some of the states down south, but the gap does appear to be closing. Natal's traditional Big Two, ABC and America, have dominated the state championship, between them winning 86 of the 99 tournaments contested since the Campeonato Potiguar began back in 1919. ABC have won more titles overall, whilst America lifted the trophy this year. In the national championship, meanwhile, both clubs currently reside in Serie B.
When both teams from the same city are playing in the same league, that has a consequence. There's always one that's doing better than the other in terms of results or league position. And that could be ABC or America. It could also be the case that both teams can make it up to Serie A. But on the whole, this makes the city experience more in terms of football. You experience more as a supporter, and hopefully that will lead us to be up there fighting to make it into Serie A.
It happens everywhere in Brazil where there's a state capital. There are usually two main teams that share an intense rivalry that's always very competitive, very hotly disputed. America had gone for 8 years without winning the state championship, and also 2 years had passed without beating ABC. And this year we broke the pattern of not winning by getting 4 consecutive victories over them and winning the state title. So this year has been very important. We've made our fans very happy.
ABC were founded in June 1915 and play their home games at the 18,000 capacity Frasqueirão. They haven't been in the top flight of the national championship since 1985, so promotion back to the big time is their primary focus this season.
I have the highest expectations possible. We have a good structure here at ABC. For me personally, as the coach, the directors are giving me everything I could possibly need in terms of signing players. And I feel really good at the helm of ABC. The expectations of the supporters are to always be up there. And I had the experience in 2010 when I was promoted with Figueirense. And so I have that same expectation here too, to get promotion.
ABC's style is based on a strong group. There's a very good atmosphere in the squad, and that shows because we have a lot of energy on the pitch. And the training pitches are great over here as well. And the older players pass on their experience to me and the other younger players that are arriving at the club. And all of that is very important.
America were founded just a matter of weeks after their great rivals and have also been a bit of a yo-yo club, playing in Serie A as recently as 2007 before dropping down to Serie C and then returning to the second tier this season. Although they're currently playing their home games more than 50 kilometres away from Natal, the Dragão also have high hopes for the current campaign.
America is not one of the teams that invest the most money. Considering that, America has gone through a very good period and we keep working. We're looking at each game as if it were a final and always trying to do our best in order to get to the end of the championship in the highest possible position. But this is a team, looking at our recent results, that can be one of the candidates to win it.
In the national championship, the teams respect each other more. They all know the other team's potential and ability. It's a more relaxed atmosphere here sometimes, and we do notice that. But I know I'm at a good club, because I know of many other players that really want to play here at America. They're doing all they can to come here.
There's still a long way to go in the current campaign, of course, but with both clubs occupying mid-table positions, there's still cause for optimism. It certainly appears that football in Natal is heading in the right direction. People from Rio Grande do Norte take their demonym potiguar, or shrimp eater, from the Tupi language of the region's indigenous inhabitants. Today, the shrimp business is one of the region's most important industries, and we visited a popular local restaurant to find out more.
Our speciality is seafood, and especially shrimp, which is brought in locally. We have been operating for 21 years, and the Camões restaurant is really a traditional restaurant of this city. We are popular with tourists, but the restaurant is also a place where the locals like to go.
And we also took a peek inside a kitchen that serves roughly 1,000 customers per day.
Today, we are going to make a traditional shrimp and pumpkin dish. First, we add some butter. Following that, I put in the shrimp. Then garlic, red onion,
white onion, and peppers. Tomato, coconut trimmings, this is a pumpkin puree, and now we add a white sauce made of bechamel. And finally, some green spices. That completes the dish. And now we pour it into the pumpkin, we put the shrimps and the sauce into it, and then we'll cook it au gratin, and that's it. We pop it in here for 2 minutes, and then it's ready to serve.
So there you have it, Natal, a haven for seafood lovers. Bon appetite. The Brazil team that went to the FIFA World Cup of 1974 may not be remembered quite as fondly as those legendary squads that came in the years shortly before and after. But in this part of the country, it represents a major milestone. Left-back Marinho Chagas made 27 official appearances for the Selecao, including starting every game in West Germany, and remains the only player from Natal to have worn the yellow and blue during a FIFA World Cup.
It's a great feeling to experience a World Cup. There is so much emotion. You feel the eyes of the world looking at you. And of course, there is also excitement to see who will be the new world champions. And all the media are there covering the event too. In 1974, that's what happened to me. I was part of the team, and something like that makes you proud. To play in a World Cup is a reason to be proud, to be one of the best in the world. That was a dream come true, a real dream.
He also played for numerous Brazilian clubs, most notably Botafogo, as well as spending time in America's NASL. Today, Brazilian fullbacks are invariably known for their attacking prowess, but in 1974, Marinho Chagas was something of a pioneer in the role, following in the footsteps of Nilton Santos and Carlos Alberto Torres.
The coach asked who wanted to play left-back. I said I did, so I went to the left-back position. And I was able to get forward and get past players because I had been more of an attacking player. So I would send in crosses or give short passes, and I would go for goal, and I scored goals too. And I learned how to defend with a coach that taught me that. But I also kept on attacking and scoring. And I started to become well known in my position.
Brazil made a fairly inauspicious start to the 1974 FIFA World Cup, drawing their first 2 games 0-0, against Yugoslavia and then Scotland. It was only a 3-0 win over Zaire that saw them progress to the second group phase on goal difference. However, in this second group phase, our Selecao found their form, first beating East Germany thanks to a solitary Rivellino goal, before meeting their fiercest South American rivals, Argentina.
I think that Argentina side was very young, with an average age of 22. There is this notion that Argentina is always a hard team for Brazil to play against. And it was a hard game. We were 1-0 up, then they drew level. And then, in the end, a cross came in. Jairzinho headed home to make it 2-1. We won, and the country was happy. Even if we lost the World Cup, I think beating Argentina was good enough for the people.
Johan Cruyff's Holland had also beaten East Germany and Argentina, setting up their meeting with Brazil as the de facto semi-final. In the end, the total football of the Dutch prevailed, and Brazil would have to be content with a 4th-place finish after losing out to Poland in the 3rd-place playoff.
That World Cup really was something else. Poland were the Olympic champions. They had some great players like Lato, Tomaszewski and Jarmak. Then West Germany had Franz Beckenbauer, Sepp Maier and Gerd Müller. They were a great team. Argentina also had some amazing players. They're always a competitive team. And we lost the semi-final against Holland because of one man called Cruyff. And in 1974, that one player was the difference for me. I remember that one time, Zico said, my dream, not just for the current Brazil side, but my greatest dream team of all time would be the defence from 1974, the midfield of 1982 and the attack from 1970. So you'd have to think that the defence from 74, which I was a part of, was the best Brazilian backline of all time. It's the one that conceded the fewest goals in a World Cup.
And what does this veteran of 1974 feel about the current crop of players who'll be representing Brazil on home soil 40 years on from his appearance at the FIFA World Cup?
It will be very hard for Brazil not to win it, because of the fans and because of our world-class players. All of them are young. You can see there is no longer room for players like Ronaldinho in the side. Now we have a really young squad. But who knows what will happen? You never know. In 2014, I think Brazil will do many good things, because we have very good players. Brazil is the favourite to win it, and I think Brazil will be world champions again.
As the only player from Natal to play on the greatest stage in world football, Marinho Chagas knows firsthand what it's like to experience the FIFA World Cup. And he's made no secret of his delight since he heard that his hometown had made the final list of host cities for 2014.
That made me very happy, because here in Natal we have very safe roads. There's not much crime, there's a great seafront and fantastic weather. We have 450 kilometers of beaches. We have very warm people, very hospitable people. And we're all preparing by learning a bit of Spanish and a bit of English. The basics, because many people will come here for the World Cup. And since Natal is one of the host cities, of course, I want my hometown to do well.
Marinho Chagas is Natal's most famous footballer, and like the rest of the locals here, he can't wait to welcome people from all corners of the globe to the FIFA World Cup. The city of Natal is surrounded by sand dunes, and if you're looking for something to do on a day off from watching the football, why not try the region's most popular tourist activity, a dune buggy tour.
The buggy tours take place in two different areas. Along the northern coastline, which is the traditional route well known for its sand dunes, and the southern coastline tour that takes you to the famous Pipa beach. We get tourists from all over the world, and we average about 200 buggies going out per day. And that's an overview of the work that we do.
And there's plenty to see en route as passengers enjoy the sun, sea and sand. It's a big industry in these parts with more than 600 licensed buggy drivers.
There's a whole preparation process. A prospective driver goes through a written test and then a practical test, where you must already demonstrate some knowledge about the dunes. And after going through both tests, you go on an 8-month course, where you learn all about the history and geography, and also practice your buggy driving.
Of course, part of the fun is taking in the beautiful scenery, but for the adrenaline junkies out there, you can also take the tour with emotion.
I'm having a lot of fun. I'm convinced that those people that don't know Natal, they would really like it here. The area where the buggy tours go is great. It's a very different kind of feeling from other tours that I've done. I have been here before, and I regret not going on the buggy tours before. It's a great experience, and I'll certainly come back again.
Regarding the tour with emotion, people really enjoy that feeling of speed, that feeling of being free. They feel unchained, and that's something innate. It comes from within. You get people that go on holidays. They're usually stressed, and they come over here, and it all dissipates. And that's our job.
Natal will host 4 group stage matches at the FIFA World Cup in 2014. They'll each be played here at the 42,000-seater Estadio das Dunas. The state-of-the-art stadium is due to be completed in December 2013.
The Estadio das Dunas project was conceived based on the dunes of Natal. The concept of the design is based on movement. You have lower parts of the dunes and other higher parts, and the movement of the sand. That goes along with the idea of movement of the stadium. There's a kind of movement of air and light around the whole of the stadium.
I think that the main challenge is to make everybody believe that Natal can host this event well, especially because it's a small city, or has less money compared to some other big cities. So there is a bit of apprehension towards Natal. And at this moment, people are aware of all the obstacles, but we are all starting to believe, at least those of us that are here, that are part of this. We have no doubt that a lot of work is still necessary, but we are certain that we will be a very good host for the World Cup.
Currently at the Estadio das Dunas, we're building the foundations. There's little visual perception of this current phase. Next, we'll be starting the superstructure phase. That's the placing of the pillars and the beams. And that will start to give shape to the arena, showing its grandeur. And the most important phase is the last one, which is the covering of the structure. It'll be a metallic structure, and that will give the stadium its final shape.
Following the World Cup, the capacity will be reduced to 32,000, and it will become the venue for all of the city's big matches. By the time the stadium is completed, more than 1,200 workers will have been involved in the project.
It is very important. It is a very large event, and it is something that fills me with pride to work at a construction site such as this one. And especially when it is completed, it will show that we have the capacity to deliver the building work on time. And to have taken part in that, to know that I was there helping, that makes me feel good.
There is also a social programme attached to the construction work, which includes a scheme to help ex-convicts reintegrate into society, as well as offering classes for the stadium workers in subjects such as reading and writing.
We don't just come here to work, we also come here to learn. We have a classroom as well. So all my colleagues are very grateful for the opportunity that has been given to us, and that opportunity is going to make us rise within society. We can now aim for higher goals.
There's still quite a long way to go until we see the finished Estadio das Dunas, but everyone here is in agreement. They can't wait until June the 13th, 2014, when a FIFA World Cup match kicks off in Natal for the first time.
I expect that it'll be very emotional, not just for me, but for all of my colleagues that are here. We will all feel very proud to know that we were here building this from the beginning. For me, it will be a great honour, and also bring me great joy to see the first game. I hope to be alive and healthy like I am today, that all my colleagues are there, and that it's a great game.
Our expectations are that when the fans start to arrive for the World Cup and they enter the stadium, they will see the movement idea of the arena. As the players are moving on the pitch, they'll notice the stadium come to life. It all flows like the dunes around us. All of this will be part of the festival that is the World Cup here in Natal.
Next time on the 2014 FIFA World Cup magazine, we head to the federal capital, Brasilia. We'll take a look at the state of football across the city. And we'll meet one of Brazil's finest strikers, the great Romario. Until then, goodbye.